Hey everyone, and welcome back to FSI DFS. I am McKinley412, and today we're going to be breaking down the 6-game early slate on Draftkings. We're going to have a separate video out for the 8-game main slate happening later in the day, so make sure to check that out, as well as all the other phenomenal content that's been going on here at FSI. There's a large or a very famous soccer competition going on right now. Gator Guy has just incredible videos out, so make sure to go look at those on a daily basis as well. But for now, let's just dive right into the pitchers. We have fairly decent pitching options for such a small slate. Much better pitching options, I think, than the 15-game slate that went on Tuesday night. But Freddie Peralta right up here at the top, 10.3K. Now, he is easily the best strikeout pitcher on the slate. He has a 37% strikeout rate on the season, and he has been very consistent. You can see through his game logs here, it's just 7-7, 8-8-8, 7-7, 9-6. He's just been incredibly consistent. So number one strikeout guy on the slate, but Cincinnati as a team, they don't strike out too often. He has faced them twice within the past couple of weeks here, but he's managed 6 and 7 respectively. But one note that is concerning here is that in those two games against Cincinnati, he has only pitched 4 and 4.2 innings. And it's not because, he was getting blown up or anything. You can see he had just 3 hits against and 2 hits against in them. Strikeouts were there. He only had 75 pitches here, but still, this game, I believe, was a rain delay, and that kind of stopped him from doing much there. And this one, his pitch count was just getting up because he was walking a lot of guys. So Cincinnati's a great offense. You do have to pay attention to that. 10.3K. I still think he's viable for your contests, even in cash. But he's not an absolute lock and load just because of who he is facing. Giolito right below him, $400 cheaper at 9.9K. His strikeout rate is starting to creep way back up. It dived quite a bit there when he was really struggling at the beginning of May, but his form has been much, much better as of late. You can see his strikeout rate is just fantastic. He's going up against a Tampa Bay team who strikes out a lot against right-handed pitching. As a team in the past month, they're striking out at nearly 27%. So you definitely have a high strikeout upside. Ceiling game is a definite possibility for Giolito here. I could easily see him hitting the double-digit marks in strikeouts. So if I had to choose between him and Peralta, I actually would be leaning Giolito in this matchup here. Molly, he's on the other side of Peralta. Solid pitcher. Excuse me. Solid pitcher. Not much to say. I think he's a little high in the salary here. I think if you want to pay up there, just go up to 9.9 for Giolito here, or find another option. YARBROUGH, he's had great past 2 games here. This 31 and 27. He had a complete game against New York, and that just awful New York offense. I don't know what's going on with New York this season, but did very well there and backed it up with a nice 27-point performance against Baltimore. Now he's going up against Chicago White Sox, though, and as a lefty against the White Sox, that's always concerning. You guys know I like to target Chicago against lefties just with the power that they have. So he has put up nice numbers here, but it is something that we need to be paying attention to. I don't know. I'm not going to be on him. He's not going to be on my cash lines at all. I'm going to have some GPPs with him, obviously, but cash line, I'm not going with YARBROUGH here. Snell, he's the number 2 pitcher on number 2/3 on strikeout rate. He's at 32% on the season, so he's been doing really well in the strikeouts. The strikeouts. However, you can kind of see past couple of games hasn't been really up there, but also he hasn't really been going too deep into games. That's because he's been walking quite a few guys here. His pitch count's getting up, and as we've known with San Diego this season, they've really limited Snell from going deep into games. unless he's absolutely just steamrolling through the Mets offense. But he is going in Coors, so that is another knock against him here. Obviously, for GPP, he's going to be a fine option just because of the ceiling that he does have. But again, in Coors, doesn't have a long leash at all. Has an issue with the walks, so take the information for what you want. You know, I'm not saying he's a terrible play. I'm not saying he's a great play. Figure it out. After him, Canning Irvin, average. Screwball's got a 27.9% strikeout rate on the season, which kind of shocked me, it being that high. And for 7K, having a strikeout rate that high, look at this. That's great. That's great. Going up against Kansas City, I think he's a fine option there. Same with Singer. I think he's another fine option. Singer, he doesn't have as high of a strikeout rate. He's at like 24%, but he has the lowest hard hit rate against of anybody on the entire slate, of any pitcher on the slate. And that includes guys like Peralta and Giolito. So he does not allow hard contact at all. I think he's at like a 34% rate, and 6.3K. That's cheap. That's cheap. So he can easily hit 3K or 3 times value here, which would be great. So don't mind Singer at all. Like I said, there's a lot of great options here. Peralta, Giolito, Molly's fine. You know, Yarbrough's in good form. Snell, he's got that ceiling possibility. GPP only for me here, though. But Screwball, Singer, they're also fine options as well. So let's kind of turn towards the bats and top bats. It's not even close. San Diego going up against Freeland here in Coors Field. Freeland is just a disaster so far this season. Look at this. He's got 3 consecutive games of negative points. As a pitcher, that's amazing. And it's not like he went 1 inning and had 1 bad inning. He's going 4 or 5 innings here, half the game, and he's still ending up in the negatives. So now he's going up against this powerful San Diego offense, and a San Diego offense who DraftKings made cheaper than they have been the past couple of slates, which I don't understand. So Tatis, he was like 6'4". Cronenworth, Hosmer, you know, they were all in the low 5K range. So they got price reductions as well. So you're just going to want to jam as many San Diego bats as you possibly can here. And a lot of the righties. So you're looking at Tatis, you're looking at Pham. Myers, he's a nice cheaper option at 4.4K. Profar at 3.4, another cheaper option and a righty bat there. Machado 5.6, a little bit more expensive, but if you just kind of roll with these guys here, let's see what you can do with pitchers. So I like Giolito over Peralta. So if I throw in Giolito here, I'm probably going to need a cheaper pitcher. So, you know, you can go down to Singer. You're looking at 3.5K remaining. Totally possible. You can do this. If you like Screwball and just the form that he's in and the strikeout upside he's been given, 3.3K. Say you pay down at catcher. I'm literally just going to scroll down and plug in a cheaper guy. Diaz here. Just clicked. 3.6 for everybody else. That is great. You know, maybe you can put in a higher pitcher here. Let's see. What if you did go with Peralta? Maybe not. 2.5K. But you could easily get to a guy like Snell or even Yarbrough here in this situation. But yeah, you're going to be wanting to jam in as many San Diego bats as you can, just because their implied run total has to be close to 7. It's going to be crazy. So absolutely all over the San Diego bats. The other team that I do like here, and I know I was kind of talking about their pitcher being in great form, but it is going to be the Chicago White Sox bats. I like them against lefties. And Yarbrough on the road, he's been giving up quite a few home runs. You can see in his past 3 road starts, he's given up 8 home runs. And if there's one team that can really rack up the home runs and have power against left-handed pitching, it's the Chicago White Sox. So I'm definitely going to be looking at their bats here. So far this season against left-handed pitching, their best hitter has been Mercedes. He's got a 375 batting average against left-handed pitching this season. If you're looking for strictly like isolated power, their ISO, Abreu, he's at 340 ISO, but the number one ISO hitter against left-handed pitching this season, 2.9K, Andrew Vaughn. So if he's in there, he makes a phenomenal cheap option for you to kind of pair with those San Diego bats here. There's a lot of outfielders that you want to play with Vaughn and with Pham and Myers and Profar. So you're going to have to figure out who you would like more than others. You know, I'm just going to put in Myers and Profar here. Let's just kind of see. I'm not going to build a whole lineup for you, but 4.4K for a remaining pitcher and second and third base. So you can absolutely jam in these two teams. I think it's going to be very, very popular just because of the Chicago White Sox and what their offense can bring. And honestly, the rest of the slate, there's nothing I'm really too excited about. I'm not going to make up numbers or be really interested in a team that I'm not, because everybody else I think is just, they're in an okay spot. I don't think anybody's in a disastrous spot. You know, even Cincinnati going up against Peralta, I think Cincinnati, they have the potential to do very well. Tampa Bay against Giolito, maybe I'm off at Tampa Bay, but you know, everybody else, they're in fine spots. I don't think anybody's in a terrible spot, but I also don't think anybody's in a absolutely smash spot other than San Diego. I do like Chicago White Sox, but they're not nearly in a smash spot as San Diego is. And then, so yeah. So that kind of wraps up the slate. It's pretty straightforward. I like Giolito over Peralta. Molly's fine. Yarbrough's in great form. Snell, ceiling game possibility, but GPP only here with Coors Field and a short leash. Skubal and Singer are also fine options as well. So good luck in your contest today, this afternoon. Again, we do have another video out or coming out for the main slate, so make sure to check that one out as well. Hit that thumbs up button, drop a comment below. We do read all the comments and try to answer them. So, yeah, it really does help us bring this free content to you guys every single day. So once again, good luck in your contest this afternoon, and we'll see you in the next video.